What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Hopefully, after the holidays, everyone is happy, healthy, and thriving, So, to get things kicked off for season 2026, I'm going to be focusing on Bassmaster Kayak Series and Kayak Adventure Series. But before we get to that, we have to get us some baits. I was fortunate this year to have another partner come onto the channel to help you guys save money and help support me. So that is LureNet or Pradco baits and lures. That's your favorite brands like Yum, Great Lakes Finesse, Cotton Cordell, Booyah, Bomber, Bandit, Norman, Lindy, Phil, bunch of brands that you know and love. So today I'm going to show you how I do a mass restock. I don't know why, but last year I went through all my baits, whether I gave them away to people, whether I just used them. I went through a lot of baits. So today we're restocking from zero. We're going to go to hero. So should be popping up right over here. I'm going to follow along. We're going to talk about some baits and lures that I pick. And guys, if you're going along as we are going through these baits and whatnot, you can save a little bit of money yourself by using the code JTFG15. All right, it's going to save you 15%. So we are going to get started by going to brands. First stop is going to be Kissimmee. For those that don't know, Kissimmee, Florida, that's first stop of Bassmaster Kayak Series. And generally this time of year, we're transitioning from winter to pre-spawn. When we get down there, depending on what lake you're on, we could be getting into the spawn. We shouldn't have fish that have already spawned, but it's Florida and you never know. So the first lure we're going to take a look at is the Yum Sonar Minnow. The Sonar Minnow is a pretty good Twitch style. I wouldn't quite call it a jerk bait, but it is one of those soft minnow style presentations. So obviously we do not have forward facing sonar, but what we do have is rivers and shallow water. So generally what I'm looking for is kind of a clear color, a clear white color. I'm looking for a green color, and I don't think they're going to have it, but a black and blue color. Yeah, I think the closest one they have here is going to be blackback, which is usually called gizzard. But all right, so we got those. Hellgrammites. You can never pass up a hellgrammite on a river. So let's see, what's natural look like? Sure, not what ours look like, but natural will do. See what Cleveland looks like. All right, just the same thing without flake. Tremor. Okay, Tremor's that black color. We're getting there. Northern Light. All right. So this right here, this color, has kind of a pearl belly and a black kind of pearl top. We're actually going to get one of those. the dinger. So when we go down there, I know one lure specifically that we're going to catch fish on is going to be black and blue or June bug with a blue tip. I don't think the dinger comes in a black and blue with a blue tip. Man, they have lots of colors. Black and blue flake. Sure. Add one of them. Black and blue laminate. Okay. Black and blue swirl. That kind of has a blue tip on it, but I feel like you're going to be risking it depending on the pour. Just going through some of these colors. Ooh, that's like an Okeechobee color, which is also good. The green and black and blue, the green pumpkin black and blue. Elder's Magic looks good. It's kind of a translucent purple and translucent watermelon. All right, one color we are going to get is the Glimmer Blue Pepper. Pretty much white with black and blue flake in it. Like I said, we're getting into that spawn time, and just in case, I want to have something that I'm able to flip in there on beds if I see them. Green pumpkin neon, green pumpkin blue, that looks good. I think we have to get a June bug just in case. Watermelon red flake. Yep. Add that to the cart. So, swimming dinger. All right. Thumping dinger. I think we're going to have to stop at Bass Pro and pick up at least 3 lures I know that aren't going to be on here. The Ultra Vibe Speed Worm, usually the Magnum, usually in a June bug or a like June bug red color really does it right. Gonna get that. Gonna have to get a chatterbait or two, and depending on what brands offer what on LureNet, might have to get a jerkbait or lipless depending on what's in stock. So I'm gonna take a look at the ribbon tail. Black and blue. Alright, that's kind of like a plum blue fleck. Green pumpkin purple. June bug. Plum. Red shad. Tequila sunrise. Watermelon seed. So we're going to go with the watermelon seed. We're going to go with the red shad. And I mean, it's Florida, so I don't see why you shouldn't go with the June bug. And I should say, we aren't just buying for Florida. We are buying for kind of the season. Pretty much getting our first stock in. And then each event will kind of get what's needed. Mighty worm, how big is that? 10.5 trick worm, alright. Magnum finesse worm, let's see how big that one is. 7.5. And then Yum finesse worm, 5 or 6.5. Alright. I I don't think we need a 10.5 inch. I think 7.5 will be just fine. Black and blue, never a bad option. Elder's Magic again. That's that kind of like sprayed grass looking color. Purple, green flake, kind of translucent watermelon color. I'm liking that. We'll get that. I feel like we have to get a watermelon red. Just kind of cover your bases. Then red bug. Alright, it's like a plum color, and there is plum. Onyx, which should be black. Okay, that has some silver and purple in it. June bug, probably should get that. Alright. That should about do it for worms. Yum Breaking Shad. Take a look at that. Arkansas Shiner. Yep. Gonna get the bubble gum. Generally, when it comes to fluke style baits, actual jerk minnows, I do like a chartreuse or a pink for my dirty river water. I like a pearl or like a white or like a sight flash color, for chatterbait trailers or just straight up a jerk bait. I like green pumpkin again for a trailer and just to fool around with. If they're light enough, if they're like a watermelon, I'll dip the tails in chartreuse as I need them. That gives a little bit of scent and it offsets the color just a little bit. Doesn't make that much of a difference, probably not. And then a color that usually places don't have in stock is a black. Just because I'd like to put it on a vibrating jig chatterbait. But we're going to get a green pumpkin. So we got pink, green pumpkin. Let's see what the pearl white looks like. All right. Smoke and shad. All right. Watermelon seed. It's a little light. Watermelon seed red flake. Then we're going to go with pearl white. So we got green pumpkin, pearl white, and bubblegum. All right, pulse tail. I think the one lure we do have from last year are paddle tails, but this doesn't look too bad. Here's some of the colors as we go through them. That would be a good one for like a black swim jig, black and blue swim jig. What color is that? Sinful shad maybe? Nope. It's probably that phantom pearl that's sold out. Probably. All right, on to the next one. This is another great swim bait option. Generally, these are good, especially if you do your own like weedless swim bait, where you take like the coffee stir or the coffee straw, poke a hole through the nose, clip it off, and then you have a line through. That's when I first found these, because they do have like a hand pour kind of appearance or like a style to them. They have a flat top, little fins, not much detail, but man, they kick harder than it looks. But let's see. Again, I think we're good on swim baits, but that is a great option. The Yum Christie Critter. Let's get some of those. So those are going to be your brush hog style baits. Let's see, Bama Magic. All right, so that's like green and blue, like that Okeechobee craw color. Gonna get one of them. Have to get a dark color. Black and blue, never a bad option. And then Black Blue Shadow. Ooh, that looks good. Green Pumpkin. Green Pumpkin Purple, not much different. All right, Watermelon Candy, that looks good. Green, purple, red, flake, and watermelon. Let's do that. All right, and then June bugs sold out. All right, guess that's good for now. Now we're starting to move into our craw. Ooh. Let's check out this woolly bug. Another thing in Florida that's kind of known for is flipping. Get you a heavy rod, 7.2, 7.4, 7.6, 7.8, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you have. Make sure it's heavy, extra heavy even, fast tip, extra fast tip, high speed gear ratio reel, at least a 7.2 to 1, if not more. And then you're going to want to make sure that you have drag. You want to make sure that you can max it out. Right around 17 to 20 pounds, I think is fine. If you have some that are higher than that, perfect. But usually when like your Super Duty reels, that kind of thing, that's the best choice. Black and blue, have to. Brim. Okay, so that Okeechobee cross style, which is green, pumpkin, and blue. You get one of them. That looks good. Crawdad, which I'm not a huge fan of like orange style baits. I get it in crankbaits. I understand, just not for me. But I'm gonna have them just in case. All right, green pumpkin purple, ultimate craw, which is like a summer craw, Virgo red, looks good, watermelon red. Generally for flipping baits, I like two colors, black and blue or a green pumpkin-ish. But let's go to page 2. Got the craw bug, craw poppy. Christie critter looks good. Yeah. So here, black and gold, black neon, black and blue shadow. Okay, black and blue flake. Let's go black and blue flake. Looks like it has a little bit more flake in it. Camo, copper flash, green pumpkin purple flash, green pumpkin purple flake. All right, this is another color that personally I've never used. I get why it works, but it's like I don't like orange beats because they stand out a little too much. But this bait color, it's like a sapphire blue, which is a lot of other brands have that color. But they're calling it Moonlight. I feel like we have to get one just to kind of have it. They're great in tannic and muddier water rivers. So we'll see. Again, there's that orange color. I guess natural will go with it. Maybe it can look good on a jig. I'm not gonna flip that one around and find out. Olive shadow, summergill, tinfoil. So that's another color that's kind of a sleeper color for Florida, especially right before spawn. A lot of these lakes are golden shiner, shad, gill, or brim, heavy forage fisheries. So whenever you have like a black color that will stand out in water, and you put like gold, red, silver, or even blue, or even green flake in it, you might be able to trigger a few extra bites. Watermelon candy, watermelon seed. I feel like we have to go watermelon red. Generally, that's the safest option for me. Don't need any lip. The tiptoe doesn't look too bad. All right. So generally, what I'm going to use this for, great example, a black frog. What I'm going to use this for is a buzzbait trailer. Generally, I'm throwing a white or a black frog lure on the back of a unskirted buzzbait. Generally, I like them right around 3/8 to ½ ounce. Generally, skirted ones, I go 3/8. Ones without a skirt, it's kind of a toss-up, whatever they kind of have in stock. But bullfrog, all right, that looks like a green pumpkin with a pearly yellow belly. Green pumpkin is straight green pumpkin. Snot rocket, all right, that's that green pumpkin kind of cream belly. Summergill, green. Watermelon pearl, again, that's that pearl laminate color. Watermelon red flake. And white. So definitely want a white for buzz baits. Definitely want a black for buzz baits. Bullfrog, probably the most. Click on. Must have clicked on their video. Super annoying, but bullfrog looks to be the most natural color. That or snot rocket. So we'll just get this one. Generally, I don't think it matters that much. It's just personal preference. Bright and sunny, I throw a natural, and when it's overcast, generally I throw black or white. Usually black, but Houdini shad, we got the breaking shad, Yum Dinger, Ned Craw. I think we're good. Yeah, I don't think it's A-rig season down there, not for me anyways. All right. I think that's enough yum. So, Arbogast, Bandit, Bobby Garland, Bomber, Booyah, Cotton Cordell, Creek Chub, Great Lakes Finesse, Head and Lindy, Little Joe, Norman, Rebel, Smithweed, Tasmanian Devil, Thill, War Eagle, Yum, Yakima. Feel like we have to go War Eagle. Feel like Screaming Eagle, Nickel Frame, Double Willow Spinnerbait. Let's see. It's a good color. White and silver. Half ounce. Getting that. Green shad. It's a good color, but I don't think we'll need that. Hot white. Mouse. Blue pearl. That's kind of like a spot remover color. That's a good color. Blue herring. Chartreuse and white. Sure. Spot remover. Man. Yeah. Get a spot remover. Blue shad. Okay. Alright, so that's normal full-size spinnerbaits. Here's this they used to call the river rat. I think that's what this is. I really like War Eagle spinnerbait skirts. Generally in the river, I don't throw a trailer on it unless I find that they're biting the blades. If they're biting the blades, then I will add a trailer on. Or even I prefer a trailer hook. So, white and chartreuse. Okay. Chartreuse is one of those like go-tos for me. Man, I like it that they have the 3/4 ounce. But we're going to go half ounce just because I don't know the water depth of the places we'll be going. Usually half ounce is my go-to. If it's ultra skinny, like we're talking like 2 foot or less, I'll do a 3/8, but we're going to do a coleslaw option. We'll do that one in 3/4. All right, so we got natural and we got river series, river rat, whatever you want to call it. So hugely underrated blades, right? A lot of people just do willow blades, or they do tandem, which is a willow Colorado. But guys, this right here, this turtle blade, underrated, especially for like finesse. Yeah. Sexy mouse. We're gonna do a spot remover in that 5/16 ounce, so just over 1/4. We already looked at that one. Speckled white, white silver, shiny shad. I can see it. Shimmer blue, sexy shad. I think spot remover is all we're gonna really need. So for a river, my go-to colors are spot remover, chartreuse, coleslaw. Chartreuse and coleslaw for dirtier, spot remover for like super clear water, and regular water that has stain to it but isn't dingy. I usually go white or chartreuse and white. So that's that. All right, War Eagle buzzbait. So if you guys didn't know, War Eagle puts these stickers on their buzz baits, helps give off a little bit more flash. Generally, it's only on one side of it, which I'm fine with. White and chartreuse. All right, we'll get one of those. We'll do that in 3/8. Generally, with this one, I'm not putting a trailer on it. White, red head. All right. Get one of them. Mouse. That's a good color, but I think we already got white figured out. This is my absolute go-to buzzbait of all time. Generally, I always start out with a black buzzbait with a gold blade. Don't know. This one even, I've used this in the past. It does have a rubber skirt, but it also has a few strands of tinsel in it. And the tinsel is black and gold, so it's pretty cool. 1/2 ounce there. White and chartreuse. Black. Black purple. This is another good color. I just don't throw it ever. But all right, let's get some buzz toad buzz baits. Bullfrog, green pumpkin, gray ghost, black gold, black black, white. Well, I think we have to get a white. I think we have to get a black gold. And then this color, that's kind of intriguing. I think I'm going to do one of those. So Florida is a bunch of, specifically where we're going, Kissimmee, is Kissimmee grass, which is like an eel grass with a hydrilla. And it's, what I'm looking for is kind of multiple grasses together. That's a little hint if you ever go down to Florida. Everything looks the same. You'll have 20 miles of canal or 20 miles of river, all looks the same. Find what doesn't look the same and put a bait that fits the conditions in the difference, and you should get something out of it. So a bait that fits conditions. If you have kind of flat water, probably punching or flipping is going to be your move there. If you have a little bit of wind or current, generally a spinner bait, buzz bait, swim jig even. I like a swim jig. I like to bring it up over the pads or over the grass. Allow those blades, or allow just the paddle tail to nick the tops of the grass if the bass are feeding up. Or I'll let a jig sink in it and I'll slowly reel it out like it's escaping out of the grasses. So, let's see, we just did that. Oh, right here's the River Rat series. I didn't know they still made this. Generally, it has both painted blades and the body to match. This is a good color. So black with chartreuse, and then chartreuse in a copper hammered. Is that what you call it? Copper hammered Colorado. Wild purple, purple gold with an orange kicker. That's a good color. There's your coleslaw color. So generally, if you fish Sabine or you fish a river that's generally muddy, having that orange kicker is a lifesaver. Dandelion Special, that's a good color. Mud hole, yep, right there. That's my go-to. These are generally, okay, this says 3/8. Generally, I've found river rats at half ounce. I don't know. Must be the old one or whatever. That's why I don't see them. Yeah, something like that. That's usually my go-to. All right. So I think we have plastics under control. I think we have spinner baits, buzz baits under control. I think that we're good on. So I think it's only fitting. We need some top water. So hula poppers, pad crasher, pad crasher, pad crashers, jitterbugs, hula poppers, buzz plug, kits, Booyah Boss Pop, Pad Crasher Juniors, Bomber Salt. Okay, if you guys ever go for redfish, by the way, this right here, this is the juice. All right. If you have a white with red head, or you have a white, silver, any chromy looking color, definitely, definitely the way to go. LP and HP. Let me try to remember this. I think HP is high pitch and LP is low pitch. Generally, just the way the rattles sound. Cotton Cordell Crazy Shad. All right. So another Florida lure is a prop bait. Generally, that comes out on your hot days in the mornings, or those mornings where it's kind of too hot to have fog, or like the first morning out of fog. But I'm liking this. Bluegill, kind of a gold color. Okay. Chrome. Oh, chrome and black, and then chrome and blue. Clear and blue. Frog. Smoky Joe, which is just white. I'm liking this. Clear with blue nose. Have to get a chrome. And the bluegill one looked good. So guys, generally when I'm looking at top water lures, I want something kind of bone or white. I want something black, and then I want something chrome. Usually if I find something like this that was chrome and black, that knocks off the chrome. And the clear blue, it's translucent, but I kind of put that into the whitish category. And then they don't have a black, so I'm going to go with a forage option. There it's golden shiner. So having a little bit of gold with that prop should work. But yeah, we're going to, let's see, Cotton Cordell, Pencil Popper, Creek Chub, Strike. Here's some spooks. I do like me a topwater spook. Sexy Shad, Bone, and Bass. Sign me up. This is the junior, so it's going to be right around that 4-inch, probably half ounce, 3.5-inch, half ounce. Okay, Bone, Baby Bass, Foxy Shad. Looks good to me. This is another great lure. Not a lot of people throw them anymore. An old lure, but they work. More spooks. Zara Wounded Spook. That's like that Crazy Shad. I think that Crazy Shad's smaller than the spook, so we'll stay with that. Pop R triple threat. So that's $14.99. You get 3 poppers. All right, so 15, 3, all right, $5 a piece. So these are $8 a piece if you buy them individually. Might as well save the money, $3 a lure, and get the pack. All right. Let's see. So for Florida, throwing a stick bait, throwing a speed worm. We're going to have to get some chatterbaits, spinner baits, buzz baits, top water. Just kind of cover my bases. Have jigs. Yeah. The only other thing that I haven't got that I know I'll want is a frog. The pad crashers especially. I have a frog box. I don't know where it is. So when in out, we'll just, figure it out. Might have to stop and get some. This won't play a player for Florida, I don't think. But this is a great, great brand, especially for river fishermen. I'm going to let you guys in on the juice, all right? You get this stealth football head right here. Comes in like a 2 or 3 pack. 3 pack, and generally I do quarter or 3/8. And then I usually do matte black, matte brown. You get those. And then you get this right here. The Great Lakes Finesse Hellgrammite. Juicy Hellgrammite. That's a great lure. This, the Juvie Craw, another great one. And then this Snack Craw. Usually they have floating craws, or claws, I should say. It's a craw, but it has claws. So usually they float. But with this Juvie Craw right here, they are a tube style. So right here, you can either get this Mini Pro or you can get a ball head. Both are great. Whatever they have in stock is usually the issue. This stuff sells out pretty quick. And then right here, guys, get you like black head, gold blade, white head, silver blade, and then usually I do like a green pumpkin or a purple. Usually I do them in 3/8. Yeah, right here, matte black gold. Get you one of them. The OG gold, you could do that. I do the OG silver. And then this, it's kind of a green pumpkin, orange chin, gold blade. It's called Perch, matte Perch. Definitely like that. And then you're going to get you some of these Dropkick Shad. That color is great. Their clear is great. And their green pumpkin is great. This Hover Minnow. Hold on, let me make sure I have the right one. Yeah, so these are the two I always get confused. This Drop Minnow and this Hover Minnow. The Hover Minnow is taller, flatter, and it has a forked tail. I like that a lot. And I also like this one, but this one has a lot more movement in the tail, which on that underspin, I prefer the Hover Minnow or the Dropkick Shad. For this drop minnow, I really like this Ned head. The Ned heads have great keepers on them, and the top of the head is textured. I found that if you use a ball head sometimes, you get a bait that falls over unless you're using Elastec. Now with these, with Great Lakes Finesse, especially this craw right here, the snack craw, it has floating claws. It's great for this Ned head. And I like to put that drop minnow on the Ned, and it acts like a goby, or it acts like a little minnow or a little shad looking on the bottom to eat. And I think sometimes that triggers smallies. So done another video there. All right. Terminal tackle, we already got squared away. We're using all Moostad hooks this year. I have been blown away with the quality, with the finish. The style is different. All right, it's not going to be your traditional round bend hook. It's going to be their kind of flair on a round bend. Another one I really like of theirs, obviously the flipping hook. All right, 4/0, 5/0. They have great keepers on them. I like the Alpha Point and the other one. One is a gray coating with a little bit of red, and it's more like a Z-Man bait stop. And the other one is black. I use both. Both are great. So. But no, another bait I really, really like of theirs. Their round bend is called a tack offset, which I like. The hook point is well above the hook eye, which leads to more hookups. I found that it's the perfect size for a lot of baits, especially a fluke. Generally, I don't like throwing the tack offset hook on a bigger worm. They do have one that is really like a finesse hook, but it's strong enough wire that you can definitely throw a worm on it and not worry about it. I fish it on braid, 30-pound braid. Their finesse worm hook, I'll show you guys when it comes in. And then I think it's called like a samurai. Their wacky hook. The Nico and Wacky hook is great. I really like having the weedless one, and then if I don't need the weedless little strands, I'll clip them off. It's easier to take them away than it is to add them. So, but all right, let's. We definitely did some damage. So. Let's go to the cart and we will check out. So, $0 shipping. Great. Start screen recording again. So after you put in your information, I'm going to apply a discount, JTFG 15. Coupon was successfully applied. So it took it from $275 down to $250. That's $41 in saving. We saved on shipping. Tax was $15. All right. So I guess now we'll wait till they come in and we'll go through some of them. Welcome back. So for you guys, just a second or two. For me, it was about 4 days. So I've already went through this, make sure I wasn't missing anything. The first thing I'm going to start off with, though, is we're going to talk about hooks, because that's kind of where we left off. This year, I don't know if I explained this to you guys or not, I am getting organized. More than just like, hey, I'm getting a jig box and putting my jigs in there. Getting a jerkbait box, putting jerkbaits, right? I am downsizing significantly. Right here is my terminal tackle box. I have flipping hooks, which I need to get 2 more sizes. Worm hooks, or worm weights. Flipping weights. More worm weights. Nico weights. More worm weights. And then here's some of the hooks that I'll be using this year. This tack offset worm hook. I've really liked this hook. It's a little bit different. It's not quite a round bend as it is like square at the bend. This Alpha Grip Finesse. This is the one I was telling you guys about that I've been liking to throw worms on. The Alpha Grip Flip. This is my go-to flipping hook. It's been great. I throw it on 65-pound braid, and I have not had... I went through 2 hooks last year just because I thought one was getting dull. And I didn't have a sharpener on me, so I just put a new one on. And then right here's my Wacky Neko weedless. Has a like a monofilament weed guard on there. I just clip them off if I don't need them. So again, this is my terminal tackle box, 1 bag. To take that a step further, right, I put that right in with all the baits we just ordered. That means whenever you break off, whenever you lose a bait, need a new one, or whenever you need to retie your leader line, this should be a one-stop shop. It shouldn't be, let me reach in my black pack and find my leader line. Let me bring out my terminal tackle box to find hooks. Let me, try to find weights or bobber stops. No, everything is in the bag. You pull out 1 bag, your mission's complete. This is the Live Fishing Easy Bag, by the way. And I just like to label what's in them. I have a Z-Man one, which you guys are actually on. And then I have this Yum Lure Net one. You guys have already seen all the baits we went through. I'm going to show you a few that look really good to me for no reason. Right here. This Glimmer Blue Pepper. Tell me if you were a crappie in a lake and you were trying to eat a bass bed, the roe. Tell me that that is not a direct comparison to you. I think so. This is another one that I was super surprised with. This is the Pearl Minnow. Alright? The Break and Shad. That's it. The pearl really sticks out. A lot of times when companies say pearl, they mean white. Not on this one. It's an actual pearl. Right here, this is the Bama Magic Color. I think this is the best representation of a Florida color that I can get, which is that Okeechobee craw color. But very, very happy with that. I'm actually happy with all these lures. I'm happy with the amount of money we saved, 15%. definitely adds up in the long run. This is another color I liked quite a bit. This is similar to the last color, but this is called Brim. So it's a laminate kind of color with the blue on one side and then the green on the other. Really like that. The green side has blue flake in it as well. And then this color. I was super happy with this color, and I don't even know if I like it. This is the Moonlight color. I don't know. I know it works. I know people swear by them. Put down in the comment, are you a Moonlight fan or not? I don't know. I don't know if I am. Another color, which was this natural color, which was weird. So I know we didn't take a good look at it online, but this orange with purple flake, I think this is going to be a great jig trailer. Also noticed that we didn't order any jigs. I said I had some. Yeah, I have some. I don't have as many as I think I need, especially for the season. So we're definitely going to have to fix that sooner than later. Then lastly, one of my buddies, John Dalton, Mr. Creek Fishing Adventures. This was kind of one of his projects or pushes. This Helgramite. There's the top. There's that bottom. Great, great pearl color. Yeah. This is another color. I know we talked about it slightly, but this is Elder's Magic. So it's like a translucent, I don't know if the light's going to do you justice. It's a translucent like purple and green pumpkin with like a green and purple flake, almost like a sprayed lettuce color, but sorry about that, guys. Had to plug you in right before you died. So these Live fishing bags, some of you may notice online that they have dividers, and you also may notice that I don't use dividers. So I'm going to show you how I used them, that I think is pretty smart. So, by the way, we got 38 bags of plastics. Somehow we ordered 2 of a few, but that's all right. They'll get used. This holds 35 to 37 bags of plastics. That's crazy. But I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I put the dividers on the inside. Alright, so what that does is it allows me to put my leader line on the side, or Here's that other hook, that Ultra Point. And then I don't remember. I think these are Moostad hooks. I just can't remember what they're called. But these are the shaky heads I use. The other side of the bag allows me to have hooks that I don't use as often that don't need to go in here. But right on top. And boom. Done. Slide that out of the way. We are quickly going to go through some of the other baits that we got in. Here's the Scottsboro swim bait. If you can see that, it's like a watermelon laminate. I like that color. It's a great chatterbait trailer when you want something different. Ended up getting a few more poppers. This is the mag pop. We ended up getting some of those. Let me show you the size difference of the ones we got versus the ones we ordered. All right, you guys see that? So we had to upsize on those. This buzzbait looks real good. Here's the goat. That's what this color should just be called, goat. Here's that green and white, chartreuse and white. This one did not disappoint. All right. That gray ghost trailer, phenomenal. When I have to replace that trailer, I'm going to be sad because I haven't found him yet. Another popper. Here's the black and gold skirtless buzzbait. And guys, might have mentioned this, might not. 2026 is about organization for me. Last year I spent way too much time getting organized and then I wasn't organized. So I went with some live fishing stuff, and of course it's by my own, I'm doing it my own. It's not a pay me to say this or anything, but this bag, a little bit too big for kayaks. If you have a boat, this is the perfect size, right? Throw it in your bait hatch, whatever. Kayak, you can probably fit a few of these in a black pack. What I'm going to use these for this year, while I'm traveling, it's going to carry my overstock, and then each one of my kayaks are going to have this bag with an extra prop for my Newport, the tools necessary that if something happens on the water, I can get my kayak back up and going. And a big thing that I didn't have last year, and it happened 3 times, foot steering line. All right, I need extra bolts and extra foot steering line, which I'm going to put in one of these bags, and it's going to go in each one of my kayaks. I'm not dealing with my fishing got cut short this year because, no. We're just going to stay organized, we're going to do our due diligence, and we're going to be ready. So, being organized, my goal is to have one tackle box, all right? Something that holds my chatterbaits, my football jigs, flipping jigs, swim jigs, top waters, some other lures, and spinner baits. Buzz baits, they don't store well no matter how you have them. They do store better in their own package, but this is the Evolution Ballistics Hanger Box. All right. So up here, I have all my chatterbaits, right? And they hang on their hanger slot. I have swim jigs, right? Again, they hang on their slots. Usually I use a lot of white and green pumpkin swim jigs, so I kind of have that stocked up. football jigs, and flipping jigs. I keep it very simple, guys. When it comes to jigs, I need a white option, a green pumpkin option, and a black and blue option. That'll get you through 90% of the places you fish. Now, what stands apart is like Florida, Kissimmee chain of lakes is going to be golden shiner based forage. Yeah, you can get away with throwing a white chatterbait, but throwing a golden shiner chatterbait just makes sense. So we're going to go through. There was one bait that I must have missed it or something, but I was able to add it to my order. Something I used a lot last year are prop baits. So this specifically is the head spitting image. And as you can see there, it has a hole in the tail. It leaves a unique bubble trail. I was really happy with it last year. And then, so they released last year. And they were kind of hard to get. But all in all, we got them this year. This is the only one that doesn't really like to fit. That's because it has a prop and it has a fat body. But we'll do that later. And then having a box that holds spinner baits without crushing them or without just laying on top of each other is super unique. And that's what sold me over on this box. Now, if Evolution's listening, guys, if you could just make one change to this box, make it so I can store a buzzbait, and you will have the best box on the market forever and ever and ever and ever. So, probably not going to happen, but yeah, guys, like, pull out your spinner bait that you need. Put it back in, as neat or as erratic as you want. Here's that spot remover. It's definitely been used, man. One of my go-tos right there. Yeah, guys. That is our tackle tour for 2026. Initial stock for 2026. Like I said, partnering this year with LureNet is going to open up some unique opportunities to save you money and to kind of support me. So we're probably going to be doing breakdowns of lures and breakdowns of how I fish them, how I store them. I mean, I seen a great red, white, and blue spinnerbait. Maybe we'll do 4th of July challenge with 4th of July color spinnerbaits, or just lures in general. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I know this is a longer one, kind of boring, but I feel like it could answer a bunch of questions. And I feel that, you know, regardless if you're buying $300 of baits or if you're buying a few bags of $3 baits, everyone can afford to save some money. So save it when you can, spend it when you have it, and, well, do what I'm doing and sit home until the season kicks off. Best thing to do is start organizing. Get organized, get on the water, be efficient. So, well, that wraps it up, guys. Remember, JTFG 15 at checkout, LureNet, and we'll see you later. Thanks.